The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
And I'm ready to go crazy because the Celtics are going all the way.
Hey, Nick, go handle our light work.
Bowl games matter.
I would like a cold cut sandwich.
Atta boy,
You can call him Eamon Owens because he ain't got no D and he ain't got no J.
James Madison.
Turn your body cams off. Do what you do.
Hey, everybody, what is going on? It is Tuesday night. That means it is time for another edition of Craft Brewed Sports. I am Mike. With me, as always, is Scott. Scott, how we feeling tonight, man?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Thanks, Larry. Good to see you there, man.
How are you, bud?
Oh, we got one more week of wrestling and basketball, and then I get a few weeks off, so I can't wait. I'm counting down the minutes until the schedule clears for like a few weeks until baseball starts.
I was just gonna say, I'm like, it rolls into baseball and soccer, though, right? Like you're rolling right into the other two, aren't you?
Yep, pretty much. That's pretty much how that goes. Just keep on going, the one right after another. Never stop.
Nothing like looking forward to just having a normal weekend, but knowing that it's only gonna last for a short amount of time. I do the same thing. I'm like, oh, baseball is coming back up. I can't wait. But also, my weekends are going away.
Yeah. At least with baseball season, it's like nice out and you're outside for those games. Like
It's true.
Basketball and wrestling, you're just stuck inside, and it's just a bummer. Hey, Mookie's here. Hey, Mookie.
This is one of those days where it's like, okay, I've got 8 years to prepare for the future I see sitting in front of me with my two co-hosts.
6.
How are we going to do this different? Because, man, y'all guys, yeah, exactly. Gabe got it right. Craft brewed advice. Don't have kids because they suck your life out of you, apparently.
We tried to warn you, but
you did. But it wasn't that bad until this weekend, which happened to coincide, I noticed, with the first weekend since August when we didn't have football on TV. And I was like, shit, what are we going to do? Where are we going to go?
Your first weekend without football and a kid. It's all downhill from here, man.
It really is.
That.
Yeah. You know what I can't wait for, Scott? We're about a month away from the time springing forward, and Mookie gets to experience time change with an infant for the first time. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
I didn't even get to follow up with you guys about this. So this morning, peek behind the curtain, right? I sent a text to Sherman, a couple other guys going, what the hell is this parental tiredness thing? Why am I dragging ass? I went to bed, screens off, in the dark, 11:30 p.m. Kid woke up, fed at 5:30, let the dogs out, went back to sleep, got up at 7:30 for work. And I'm like, I haven't slept. Why do I feel like such shit? Come to find out, I come home and I'm talking to my wife who reminded me about the 1 a.m. screaming, waking up to eat situation that apparently I was awake for and had zero recollection. So when I'm sitting here saying, yeah, I got like 7 hours uninterrupted sleep, why am I so tired? That was false.
It's always fun. It's always fun when you have the zombie dad moment. When you're there, you're helping, you're doing something, and then you have no idea that it happened later on. It's a terrifying thought. It's really bad when you're driving home and you have that happen. Like, when did I get here? What? Right? When did I take that?
Why aren't we at a baseball diamond? I thought it was wrestling season. It's like, Dad, that was like 2 weeks ago. Shit. What is it like in that terrible Adam Sandler movie Click or whatever? He's like, oh my God, the jumps are getting longer. It's getting worse.
Terrible Adam Sandler movie? Excuse me? Can you say those words together? Terrible Adam Sandler movie? I don't believe there's a terrible Adam Sandler movie.
It's definitely a god-awful film.
I think it's I'm gonna get some hate in the comments, but I think it's easier to just say it's redundant to say terrible Adam Sandler film than it
You're gonna get some hate from your host here.
That's fine.
Every Adam Sandler movie is terrible.
No. But I'm saying he's got a real high peak, and there's like a handful of movies up there. The rest are terrible. He was one of those. He was one of those guys who came in. It was real hot his first few years in the league and then flamed out. He had like an Andrew Jones type career. Like the back end was just shit, man. Just shit.
How can you say Uncut Gems, which is on the back end, is shit? That's one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. Just nonstop anxiety, like from this jump, just biting my fingernails, terrified to move. Like that movie's fantastic, Scott.
Sure.
Mookie, you should love it. You would love Uncut Gems. That's such a Mookie movie right there.
I'm Googling it right
Sarah,
now.
incorrect. Sarah saying he plays one character. Not true. Uncut Gems. Departure from the normal Adam Sandler, right? Sometimes he plays an adult that's hanging out with kids. Sometimes he plays a golfer that acts like a kid. Sometimes he plays a guy who has kids. There's lots of range that Adam Sandler has.
Yes, he has range. You're right. He has a lot of different moves. Here's the thing. This may be a hot take, but probably not. Adam Sandler's pickup game far surpasses his acting game.
I mean, I'll give you that. Adam Sandler can ball. He can hoop.
Like, yeah, I really like Adam Sandler, the person, and like I said, the strong peaks. Like, I mean, we're not gonna knock Happy Gilmore and
You can't.
yeah, like in the OG stuff. I mean, there are some bangers in there, but there's just a lot of just junk, man. Like,
dude, you got to realize what Adam Sandler did. Adam Sandler created the ability to just go make millions of dollars and make movies with his friends. Didn't care what the apple was. That's why he's amazing. This dude was like, oh, you're going to pay me to go on vacation with my friends and make out with an actress who's way too good looking for me? Fantastic. I'm in. I'm on board. Adam Sandler.
I'm not saying
every movie is fantastic when you view it through that lens.
I'm not
this
saying
is the dude who made this just to hang out with his friends. It's brilliant.
He maximized his career. I'm not saying that he didn't get the most out of it, but I'm just saying there's a lot of unenjoyable films on the back end. That's all. Oh,
I will not stand for this. I will not stand for this. This is
funny enough. It's like anything that was like under the Happy Madison brand is like generally what like it's like after that was founded, everything kind of just became.
All right, here's what we're doing. Throughout the show, I will throw out an Adam Sandler movie randomly to get your opinion. Fire or dumpster fire on these random Adam Sandler
I like
movies.
I like this idea.
And we're not going to do it all at once. We're going to sprinkle it in.
Yes.
Throughout
No prompting, just bam, throw in a title.
Throw out a name.
Add zombie moments. How did we get here? It's been 8 minutes, and I don't remember where this Adam Sandler kicked off.
I don't know, but your mustache looking a little faint around the edges, a little darker under the nose. I mean, can we check that back out?
Can we zoom? It does look faint on the edges.
Yeah, and like a little darker. Like
bad lighting.
It may not say it is bad lighting, but
guys, we cannot have movies with that mustache a week after Scott tripled down. We can't do it,
guys. I'm just trying to send my heart out to people. All right, I'm just sending my heart out.
You cannot. You cannot. I'm saving you from yourself. You can. Scott can get away with it. Thank you, Matt Barr. Keep your hands down, Mookie. Scott gets away with it. You do it. There's going to be questions.
What if I take Scott's love in? Go this way with it? Is that cool?
That's an interesting. I like the in reverse. Like, is it if I do it in reverse?
Catching it. I'm
taking it back.
I like that.
I'm catching it and tucking it away. I'm bringing it here. I got it out here. It was a wide throw, but I got it and then I brought it in tight.
Brought it back in.
Oh my god, a wide throw.
All right, well, this is already off the rails. Where are we going to go here? We got a show tonight. We're going to talk this Luka AD trade. We got to talk. There's all kinds of NBA trades. The Warriors are reportedly in on 2 superstars that I want to get your opinions on here. We'll also talk some Super Bowl prop bets. Mookie, I expect you to have a good list of Super Bowl prop bets that we can go to. Don't poo-poo the prop bet.
Right. It's not the prop bets. I told you I'm processing through some shit that happened today that has me a little off gambling for a minute.
Fine, that's fair. Also, Myles Garrett is going to leave Cleveland in a bizarre, crazy move. We'll get to all of that. Plus, MLB firing an umpire, the best umpire they've ever had, gets fired for gambling accusations. Just a bunch to get to tonight that we will probably not get to anyway. That's the wrong music, Joe.
A little loud too there.
Let's start off
Joe came in aggressively hot with the wrong music.
Hey, if you're gonna be wrong and loud. Right?
That's true, and he was. Joe, get that under
learned
control.
one thing.
Let's talk about these beers we're drinking tonight. We're rating them as always on Caesar scale, dog or no dog. Scott, what's in your mug tonight, dog or no dog?
Urban Artifact continues to get my business tonight, and we just keep moving up the food chain. Last week we had the 7.2%, I believe it was, and this week we moved to 8.1% on their monocle, their mango fruit sour. And this is a dog. This is a dog. Like, it tastes like oddly enough, just tastes like mango champagne almost. Like it's very good, very mango-y. Like probably of all the sour flavors so far, just from Urban Artifact. Like I feel like the higher it goes up in ABV, the higher the flavor. Because the peaches and cream was good, but this takes it up a notch. And I'm not even necessarily a mango guy, but dog.
Sounds amazing. That sounds absolutely amazing. Hey, Hubie Halloween.
Dumpster fire.
An Adam Sandler movie.
Respect the game, Mookie. My God.
Fire dumpster fire. That's all you got.
If I don't know about it, it's got to be a dumpster fire. I mean,
Yeah, you were right the first time. Hubie Halloween is a fantastic movie. That is
Hubie
a great Halloween movie. And I don't care what you say. Thank you, Gabe. Fire Shack is in it. That's a great flick.
God.
All right.
Oh, boy.
Netflix, it's so good. Mookie, what's in your mug tonight, dog or no dog?
It is called Horchata from the brewery, spelled Bruery. It is a blonde ale with rice, milk sugar, cinnamon, and natural vanilla flavor, which I've apparently already had once that I rated a 4.25, but it's not hitting that good. It's not.
I like the natural vanilla flavor.
It's a dog. It's not my favorite dog, but if it's the only dog I have to hang out with, I would probably still find a way to have fun wrestling with it.
What?
You don't wrestle with your dogs?
It just got so weird.
It was a very odd description, Mookie. But what do you expect with Tyson saying Mookie looks like he's going to make a guest?
Yeah, I just wasn't even gonna
as a Predator. While his
photo is what got me.
Is Jaden Smith with the from the Grammys, and instead of the hat on his head, it's been replaced by Jaden's. Let's just say his face is perfectly placed in that image.
I gotta look, Sarah. This is 3 Googles already. There's a lot going on in the world.
You don't know what that was, Mookie?
What?
You don't know Jaden?
I know
Smith?
No, I know what the meme was. I did the outfit with the head thing.
Oh, that was from the Grammys. He wore like a house on his head.
I don't watch the
it. It was
Grammys.
nobody did, but that was just one of those things that was kind of like floating around.
A castle-inspired
How
hat.
mad do you think Jaden Smith was that he wore a house on his head, like as a almost like a mask, kind of like just a hat, like an oversized
like a prop,
and then he got overshadowed. Nobody talked about it because everybody was talking about Kanye's wife showing up naked. Like they completely overshadowed Jaden Smith. He was like, "Man, that sucks, man. I
should have had titties, bro."
I mean, I know Scott's come from before, but Taylor Swift was looking on point, though. You see what she was in? Mm-hmm.
2 seconds ago, Mookie, I didn't watch no damn Grammys. Now, Taylor Swift was looking good.
Well, that's because she was on the bottom of the article. I Googled about Jaden Smith and what he wore.
You forgot that he had watched the Grammys, Scott. He had a zombie dad moment. He watched the entire Grammys and he browned out during it.
Just the pre-show, though. Just when everybody's walking in. He actually only saw the outfits.
I mean, honestly, what else is there to see at the Grammys? Like, he listened to it all, so why bother watching? God, I hate Lady Gaga.
Gabe is drinking Kona Big Wave. He says it is a dog. Matt Barr has a Tall Boy Tropical Bear Hug Imperial IPA from Goose Island. Coming in hot at 9.9%. It is a raw dog. Woo! Wow. All right.
Speaking of the Grammys, though, I feel it very, very upsetting in a week that our president went through and got rid of DEI. That we got Beyonce winning Country Album of the Year. That's bullshit. We got to get rid of this DEI, goddammit.
Ooh.
Don't worry, the NFL is taking care of that for you. Racism coming out of the end zone, baby.
What does that mean, that we're going to
takes us
see
all.
Washington change their name yet again?
No, they've already said they're not changing their name. They're sticking with the Commanders. But the NFL was like, you know what? Racism's done. We're good. We can take it out of the end zone for the Super Bowl. It's there. We're done. We've reached the end. This week I am drinking a beer. I've got a beer, kind of. I didn't go to the store after the end of the THC seltzers.
We're in
So I had this
February.
Arnold Palmer spiked down in the basement, the half and half. It's only 4.4%. Probably a good thing to ease back into the boozing. But it's really good. It's a really good beer. Or kind of beer, almost
Malt.
beer.
Malt.
Definitely, yeah, malt, whatever this is classified as. It's a dog, whatever it is. Let us know in the comments what you guys are drinking and whether or not it is a dog. Fellas, it's Super Bowl week. It's that time. So we are going to start off this show talking basketball.
Boom shakalaka!
See what I did there? It is
I
crazy
did
that
not.
on
Did we play the basketball intro? Did we play the football intro?
Do you need me to play the football one, or are we waiting for later for that?
It's when we talk football, maybe.
Yeah, we ain't getting there. Real.
I want to talk about this Luka trade because it took everybody by storm. It snatched the headlines from football on a week it was Pro Bowl weekend, so there's not really many people paying attention to football. But the world wakes up, if you weren't up late, to news that Luka Doncic was traded from the Mavs to the Lakers. Anthony Davis going from the Lakers to the Mavs. It is so rare that in season we see two superstars swapping teams like this. Completely mind blown. Everybody lost their mind on this one. Luka is 25 years old. The stories came out.
But like, is he though? Is he really 25? Like, have we checked that birth certificate? Because I think this could be a little league pitcher situation where he may be 32.
That's a fair point. Sarah, I didn't even see your beer.
That's because it wasn't a beer. It was acronym Juicy Red Blend 2021 Kelly. Tastes like ripe raspberry juiciness, dog.
I didn't even see that comment because my screen froze after
Kanye's wife's whole ass was out.
Yeah.
I can see why you might be distracted.
It didn't load anything underneath that, and I was like, well, yep, that's the thing that happened. That was actually a thing. Was that, guys? How did you feel? How did you take this news? Because this, I look, admittedly, not a big NBA fan, but this was one of those where I'm like, you trade your franchise player, like the guy that you have built your team around, the guy that is supposed to be your nucleus for the entire future of your organization, and you trade him away for a 32-year-old guy who's always hurt. Like, what are we doing here, Dallas? Like, that's got to get this GM fired if they don't win a championship in the next 2 years, right? Like, he's got to get fired for that.
I mean, my first instinct was the same as yours in the group chat when you woke up Sunday morning. Only I saw it about an hour after it happened. I'd woke up in the middle of the night and, was just browsing the internet. Like, wow, is this real? Just like you did. No, somebody's effing with me. This can't be real. And it was still so new that everybody kind of thought it was a hoax. But it was the only thing taking up the internet except for the tariffs. Like that's how big this news was. The tariffs had gone into effect, and it's like, but Luka got traded. That's wild. And I don't know. I mean, my second reaction when I realized, oh, okay, this is happening, was okay. Well, there's one more in between there. My second reaction was, all right, it's Silver. It's time to have your moment. We vetoed that trade of Chris Paul. It's time for you to step in and veto this one because fuck the Lakers. We can't have this shit. And then my third thing was, we're definitely going to find out that Luka's a high-ranking mafia member, right? Like that's why this happened. Like there's got to be something that we find out. He's a drug kingpin. He's something that the Mavs discovered early, and we're like, without thinking, they were like, we don't want this to get out.
trade him right now. Whatever we can get, just grab something. First number in the phone book. Lakers got it. Who do they got? That's not LeBron. Okay. And they just did that. Like, that's it. Like, we are going to find out something crazy. It just hasn't gotten out there yet. Because otherwise, this makes no fucking sense.
It can't just be that he was 270 pounds like they reported.
It's also insane.
Being fat is not that much to do this trade. Like, Chuck battled being fat his whole career, and Philly kept his ass until he's got too old.
Well, and how many titles did they win?
Well, none. But I mean,
this
was Luka's first shot, and everybody's like, "Oh, he couldn't finish the job." And I'm like, "Well, it's his first shot. I mean, how many of these dudes are going in there and finishing it with that roster on their first go around? I don't know, man. There's got to be something. It's got to be just they know everything. So whatever it is."
They were willing to, as Gabe points out, bear the bad press to any future player that the Mavs cost Luka $200 million because of the trade. So he can't get the Supermax anymore because he's with a different team now as a result of it. But here's the thing. I don't think this is a win now move for either franchise. Somehow through this trade, I feel like they both got worse. Yet,
yes.
A good decision.
It's a great move on the Lakers part, right? The Lakers roster was aging. They're getting old. That move was 100%. This is our future. We are going to build around Luka, which is crazy because Windhorst even came out and said there's no guarantee that Luka signs with the Lakers in the next couple of years.
Which, oh my God, that would be amazing.
That would be hilarious if they just lose out on Luka and he just tests free agency and goes away. But like, that's the move from the Lakers side. From the Mavs side, it's really head scratching. Like, they're trying to make it seem like it's win now. We got to get this done now. Even their GM said in the press conference, he was like, I'm not thinking 10 years down the road. I'm thinking 3-4 years because I might not be here in 10 years. So I'm thinking like 3 or 4 years max.
No, you're definitely not going to be here in 10 years after this move. Like, that's assured. You kiss 10 years goodbye like on Saturday night.
But it's like, I don't understand why, like, Anthony Davis isn't the piece. You made it to the finals last year. Getting rid of Luka and replacing him with Anthony Davis is not what gets you over that hump, right? Like, it took a miracle to get out of the West last year, right? Like, the odds of Dallas getting back out of the West with Joker over there in Denver, like, that's not an easy task for them to do. And to take your best piece and ship him off and then try to replace it with Anthony Davis makes no sense to me. Like,
I think this is smart from the Dallas perspective because I think they're hitting the hard reset button sooner. Like, they could string this out with Luka, they could try to renew his contract and extend him or whatever, but it was a miracle they got out of the Western Conference, and Luka's defense is what lost them the title. And they're like, look, we hit our ceiling. How do we build around him in a way that's going to cover up that gap that can make us actually get to the finals regularly? And homeboy can't put down the cheeseburgers. So you can't even count on him being there in the playoffs to make the run. So if you build the team around him, it's all for naught anyways. And I think Anthony Davis is similar, but it's like, cool, short-term rental. Give us some time to see what we might have in some of these B players or role players or whatever and figure out our next big move. But I don't know, man. I didn't see him getting there with Luka. If they had just stayed pat, I didn't see the Mavericks get into the Western Conference Finals on a regular basis anyways.
I mean, that's fine, but why, if you know you're
this
not
is going for a Hail Mary on a first down. Like, this is unforced. Like, there's just so many reasons why they didn't need to do it now. Is all. Like, that's the bizarreness of it all. Like, they didn't get enough back. If you wanted to reset, I get, like, what you're saying, Mookie, like, makes sense if you talk it out and sound it out, but then they should have gotten back more. Like, if you wanted to get rid of him, I'm not arguing against if you decided he's not it. We as a franchise don't believe that he can be the guy that consistently brings us there. I'm fine with that. But the return was not worthy of what he is as an asset right now. Like, you sold super low on him.
That doesn't make sense. Like, there was the haul that you get back. If the idea is we're not sticking with Luka, he's not the future, we're going into rebuild mode, that's fine. But you don't go into rebuild mode by getting Anthony Davis back for Luka. Like, you get picks and young guys and young talent. You don't get a 32-year-old who can't stay on the court. Like, it's mind-boggling, this decision that got made. And it's also mind-boggling that they really only reached out to 2 teams. Like, the rumor is that it was the Lakers and one other team that has not been named that the Mavs approached about trading Luka.
Who apparently turned down the offer, which is weird. This mystery team actually said no.
Which makes me think it's a team that has that, like, clearly the Mavs are going superstar for superstar, right? Like, they're picking somebody. So, I mean, Milwaukee, did the Mavs reach out to Milwaukee and was like, "Hey, Luka, what do you say?" And they're like, "No,
that could have been it. Yeah,
not making that happen." Like, or was it the
Spurs
Celtics?
with Wemby? I mean, they're arch rivals across the state. They're just like, hey, give us Wemby.
You wouldn't have to drive very far. That makes sense.
The audacity of the Mavs to be like, hey, Luka for Wemby? Look, I'm just saying. Worst you could say is no, right?
Okay, had to ask. Don't know the answer till you ask.
You know what?
All right, that's cool. We'll just trade him for AD.
You know what it probably was, too, is it was probably a pure Costanza moment when they pitched him. Like, hey, man, you had tall and skinny. How do you feel about short and fat? How are we doing an opposites thing here? What do you say? What do you say? And they were just kept walking right on by.
I just love that the Mavs are becoming the LeBron teammate cast-off organization with Kyrie and now AD. Like, they're just going to keep getting all of the guys that LeBron carried with him to titles.
Although, how great would it be if a team full of LeBron castmates won the title while LeBron was sitting over there like, oh, man.
How does that affect LeBron's legacy? Like, right now, LeBron is like, if a team of LeBron,
bring Big Z out of retirement. Bring Big Z back to come off the bench and get minutes. He only needs to get 1 minute. We're bringing them all back. Mo Pete, like all the sidekicks.
Anderson Varejao.
Yes,
Anderson Varejao.
Bring
God,
back the
or the show's favorite NBA player, Eamon Owens, man, right? Like, there's a spot for him on this roster too. It's just
bring it Delhi. Just get Deladova back.
He's still out there balling somewhere. I think at the end of the day, the thing I can't comprehend is the whole fucking trade. What is the point? Like, why?
Yeah, it does. It seems like the most unnecessary. This is one of those moves in your fantasy league that you're just like, that trade was just made because you like to trade.
Right.
Change for outcomes of either team.
You're 2 irrelevant teams that stayed irrelevant via this trade. You had a news cycle pop, and you're going to go back down to 0.
Say, it made them relevant, Mook. For at least a 24-hour period, they were very relevant because people were like, what the hell just happened? So maybe that's it. Maybe this whole move was just the Dallas GM being able to go back to the owner and be like, I'm trying something here. I'm doing everything. I traded Luka for AD. Like, I'm work with me here, boss. Come on. I'm doing what I can. Hey guys, the water boy. Fire, dumpster fire.
Fire.
Yeah. Easy decision. Absolute fire.
Yeah. That was quick.
I mean,
I thought you guys were going to have to think about the water boy. In that heyday, it's a better ones of the heyday.
It is not one of the better ones of the heyday. But again, when you look at the totality, it becomes one of the masterpieces because the back end was shit, man. Waterboy proves my point. It was tucked in there where it was just like, it wasn't very memorable when it happened. But wow, looking at his entire catalog, you're like, Waterboy might have actually been one of his better ones. Like, that might have been his Casablanca.
Vicky Valentine, man.
That might have been his bogey moment.
It's shit like that has people commenting about how we're old. All right, cut that shit out.
Wait, no. Okay, what makes me older though? Comparing a movie from 2004 to Casablanca, or bringing up Casablanca at all? Like, which part of it makes me old? Because it's not like Waterboy's a new movie either.
By the way, you just made the Waterboy 2004. The Waterboy was in 1998.
Oh my god! All I thought was I was like, it was somewhere around high school, I guess. Oh, jeez. Yeah. See. So like, which part makes me older?
Moving on.
So there was another trade this week in the NBA that didn't rile up folks as much, but honestly, to me, is much more compelling to talk about on the floor. Mike, if you want to tee that one up.
No, go ahead. Why are you going to tee up a story that wasn't in the rundown and then toss it to me and throw a dead fish right in my lap?
I was wondering. I was like, wait a minute, what other trade was there?
Are you talking about the Zach LaVine trade? Are you talking about LaVine getting traded and De'Aaron Fox going to the Bulls? Is that the one you were looking at?
No, let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about just another player the Kings traded away or whatever. That was also a reminder this week. It's like, oh, but also don't forget they took De'Aaron Fox when they could have had Luka. It's like cool.
That's another trade that was like, I was like, huh, well, doesn't mean anything, I guess. Like, doesn't help either one, doesn't really do much. So
whatever.
In your new house, guys. Like, all I'm seeing is just this is all facilitated by realtors who are trying to sell properties in these cities because
you know what?
There's no reason why.
That's a really good conspiracy theory that this is the realtors trying to, jack up their commissions because, the real estate market's taking a bit of a beating. You might be onto something here. What other moves have there been? Because the other part that doesn't get talked about a lot in these trades is it's not usually a straight 1-for-1. There's always those jags that they just throw on to make the salary cap work and all that other stuff, right? So, I mean, we're talking at least like 8 to 10 home sales per trade. That could be sizable.
That could be sizable. Tyson saying, I forgot the Sacramento Kings were a team for a minute. and Robert correctly saying, who said Mookie could take point at any point of the show? That's a very valid criticism, Robert, and I agree. And Gabe, yes, Luka did get screwed because he just bought his house last week in Dallas. I read a headline that said it was a $17 million home that he purchased last week, closed on it, and then woke up to the news this weekend of, guess I got to move to LA now. That kind of sucks. Like, imagine buying a mansion and then being like,
well, and imagine buying a mansion in Dallas where there's no state income tax and plenty of land to go around, and then now having to move to frickin' Los Angeles that was a, can I say dumpster fire of a property market?
Right. Steer right. Get that mustache going. Come on, steer right. Talk about how terrible California is. Move, go. Hard right.
There's no land to build anything. The stuff that was there is burned to the ground because of all this over-regulation that we got going on here. But, I hear some people say all we got to do is loosen up regulations, and we'll have some great homes for Luka to buy into.
You
release the water.
It a dumpster fire. Is this fantastic?
Is this the new, like, hey, Mookie, do an accent? You're going to be like, hey, Mookie, pretend to be conservative. And
hey,
I'm
Mookie,
like,
it's just
build a wall. Did I do it? Did I do it right?
Do it. It's like, instead of do it in Italian, we just say, do it in Alex Jones.
God, I really hope that onion sales go through. Like, that is what we need right now. That is what society needs, is the onion sale or purchase of what was his network?
Dumpsterfiremedia.com.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
It was
they're gonna take it over.
It was whatever. I want to go back to this Luka trade real quick because Mookie tried to really get off of that before we finished.
For no reason, really, too. It was like unforced.
Yeah,
It's like, hey, by the way, this other trade that we're really not going to talk about.
Because Scott started foraying into how friggin' old we are, but he was talking about with facts and numbers where I couldn't trick myself into feeling young. And so I was like, nope, got to get onto something else.
That pretend we had a whole ass episode talking about how
I'll put the corporate mask on, brother. I'm out here to get paid. I'll play the part. You know what I'm saying? But there you go.
He'll send out all the love.
That's right. I will capture all the love and
stop
send
it.
right back.
No, he was capturing love.
I'm bringing your heart into me. Stop it. Just stop with the heart and doing anything with your heart. Just stop. Especially with your mustache right now. Please.
Leave your cold, dark heart on the floor where it belongs.
Mavs fans showed up to the arena with the casket and had a funeral for Luka as if this man died tragically in a plane crash. Instead, he just got shipped
Or
off
helicopter?
to LA. Whoa. Hold on, Mook. I got you. We're going to give you the camera here. Enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
Scott has died. Scott can't control himself anymore.
Go on.
I don't even know what I was gonna say. Oh, the fans they had a funeral. But there's a brewery in Dallas, guys. It's making a beer that's called Sell the Team. And they're also offering Mavs fans a 10% discount if they come into the brewery this week wearing Mavs gear. And they said you don't even have to wear it. You can just carry it in if it's too hard to put on the gear now.
Man.
I laughed really hard when I saw this because the Mavs fans were gathered around the Luka casket outside of the arena chanting "Sell the Team," and I was like, "Oh, that's so sweet. Look at you guys thinking you're going to affect change from this owner." No, what's going to happen is that owner is not going to sell the team, and you're still going to go, and you're still going to watch them, and you're still going to buy the gear because where are you going to go? Like that's
Yes. Full circle.
Well, I read some conspiracy theory. It might have been by Mavs fans themselves, but that this thing was because they're pissed off. They want to move the team to Vegas, and they like originally they wanted to build casinos in and around like the stadium area, and Texas is like no, and because Texas said no, that this trade was to tank the team and make everybody pissed off, people taken away from the sales and all that, and then they could turn around and be like, hey, look, this team we no longer financially support this team, we got to move it to Vegas. And so that's one of the prevailing theories, is that ownership knows exactly what they're doing, and they're trying to screw this thing into the ground so that they can force the franchise to move to Vegas.
How far away are we, though? Sorry, Mike, you can jump in a second, but how far away are we, though, from like being able to remove the facade of trying to tank the team? We know all the owners are there saying, hey, it'd be great for all of us if there was a team in Vegas for us to make more money. Why doesn't someone just move there? Why do we have to pretend that there's this whole like it's no longer viable in this city when everybody knows?
You can't just up the move. You automatically become the villain, not just in your town, but across the entire league.
Who cares? You said it yourselves. People will still watch and buy tickets. Even
not only
if it's
that,
not the Raiders fans buying tickets, it's the fans that travel into Vegas to see their team play in Vegas. Like, especially if you're moving to Vegas, a destination like that, what we've seen is sports fans, A, have short memories, and B, will give you their money no matter how many times you punch them in the face. Doesn't matter. They'll still hand it over.
But if you're an owner already in the league, and the league is talking, and it's like, oh, hey, we got to get a team there, whatever. You got to make moves before they expansion this thing. So if you've got to tank your franchise and make it look like whatever you got to make it look like, so that you can be the one that moves there instead of has to buy into a franchise there. I mean, that's a totally separate thing. Like, you don't have to.
Scott, I hadn't even considered this conspiracy theory, but Matt Barr is just realizing this. He's just finding this out. But
yeah,
he said, "Oh man, I thought Mark Cuban was a majority owner."
No, he's not. Anymore. Yes, and so that's how I just
3 years ago.
That's the first domino to fall. They get Cuban out of the way because they knew he would never move the team out of Dallas.
Yep.
So you get Cuban out of the way. He still owns, I think, like 27% of the team. But he said he was not consulted about this trade. He had no idea. And supposedly LeBron didn't have any idea too, which is hilarious. But he said he had no clue that this was happening. He wasn't aware. But yes, that's the first domino. Cuban's out of the way. Now we get rid of the guy that we've had here since he was a kid. We get rid of the guy that everybody has rallied around. and we don't do anything to really get better.
Yeah.
Here comes the tank until everybody bails on us, and then we have to move. I love
And-
it. I'm 100% bought it.
And you do the trade too. Like you make it look like you're like still trying, right? Because they can spin an AD into, well, yeah, we're winning now, and this we
All
don't have a rim
defensive NBA
protector.
player.
Right, this is the difference. We need to stop Joker. Like it fits better with the profile, and we're not worried about the future. He's not worried about 10 years because he's like, we're trying to get to Vegas before 10 years, baby.
I'm 100% bought into this conspiracy theory. This was well done, Scott. Very well presented.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't know, because this was one of those like going down a rabbit hole, like finding out that in the course of this, I found out that Cuban was no longer majority owner, because I thought that I was like, why would Cuban do this? And it's like, oh wait, he only owns 27%. And then that's when I started seeing the fans saying like, yo, this is because they asked for, the ability to do the casinos in Texas, and the state is saying no. So they're like, okay, well, you won't let us
say no to that. That's the part I can't get. Like, why is that the hill to die on, Texas, of all the things?
Oddly enough, Texas.
I mean, as Caesar would say, it's Hot Wheels, Greg. You know.
Oh yeah, he's the one. He was out front. He was like out front about like, no, we're not, doing the whole casino thing in Texas.
I think
it's such a great take. I love this. I love this almost as much as the 1998 classic, The Wedding Singer. The Wedding Singer, Fire, Dumpster Fire.
Dumpster Fire.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Like I said, I'm going to have all sorts of controversial takes within the web of one Adam Sandler.
I'll split the difference and say Fire, because it was mid. There's parts I liked. There's parts I was like, this is stupid. He went Dumpster Fire. I'll go Fire to give you an average.
It's not really an average, but man, I can't believe you said The Wedding Singer is Dumpster Fire. I've never been this mad.
I mean, it's not Fire. Like, let's be real.
It is Fire. That movie is great. What are you talking about? John Lovett.
Mookie is saying that it's closer to Dumpster Fire than it is Fire, so I feel like that's a Dumpster Fire. I feel like
he said Fire, so clearly he said it's closer.
But that's only because he was guilted into it. He said it's not Fire.
I didn't guilt anybody into anything. I am just shocked that you would have such poor taste, Scott. That's all I'm saying. There's no guilt trip involved. If Mookie does not have the same poor taste that you have, then that's it. I mean, good for him. I'm proud of him, but I'm not guilting him into saying that The Wedding Singer is Fire, because it is. But yeah, that's crazy.
There's so much shit that he is in, though, too. Like, I'm looking at this, and we were joking about him having range, and in a weird way he does. Because, like, what the hell is Men, Women, and Children that he played in 2014? This looks like it could actually be like an artsy kind of serious film.
You clearly haven't seen Uncut Gems. Bradley's saying, I want the Chiefs to trade for Myles Garrett just so the world can burn. Bradley, stick around, because we're going to talk about that Myles Garrett trade.
No, Bradley, go elsewhere with that take. How about that? Nobody wants to see that. Thanks.
I do kind of want to see the world burn down.
I do want to see the world burn. I don't want to
when
burn
the Joker
like
hitting the button and turning around to watch the hospital blow up. I would not mind seeing NFL fans' heads explode with Myles Garrett going to Kansas City, understanding that would ruin my team's chances of ever winning a Super Bowl. But I'm kind of resigning.
Yeah, that huge rivalry, huh?
Gigantic rivalry, man. Gigantic rivalry. It's huge. So bad that the Chiefs purposely lost to avoid playing the Bengals in the playoffs.
So bad that the Chiefs will have to go out and get the best defensive player in the league to add to their team to be able to beat y'all, right? To get over that hump,
if they sign him, add it to the conspiracy theory that he is a Joe Burrow killer. That's just them being like, we need something to be able to beat Joe Burrow.
We gotta even the takes here, man. Like they're so much better. Oh shit.
What a run the 90s were for Adam Sandler. Billy Madison was 95. Happy Gilmore was 96. Wedding Singer was 98. Waterboy was 98. Big Daddy was 99. What a
banger. banger. Like look at that stretch. Look, that's what I'm saying. In that stretch, if Wedding Singer, and I'll give you that. It's fine. I'm not huge on how stupid he looked, and it was a real departure from that grouping, right? So
kill me, please.
Right, well, and then that was the gem that came out of that movie. I'll give you that. But that's what I'm saying right there. That stretch, if that's his worst movie in that stretch, like that's a hell of a stretch, right? That's a hell of a peak. Because after Big Daddy, you get like 50 First Dates, and then it kind of starts.
God, I hate that. That's such a fucking stupid movie.
And it's fine.
Me off.
It's fire, but it's where his career starts to like kind of meander, and he kind of starts to like.
50 First Dates is shit.
That is not where his career starts to meander, because 2 years later he did The Longest Yard remake, which is real good. Yeah. Fantastic.
I like
Any
that
film with
movie,
Nelly as the running back.
It's so forgettable that he was in it. Like it doesn't feel like an Adam Sandler movie.
Was in it.
I'm saying like it's not
showing his range,
Sandler
Scott.
movies.
He's showing his range. He's a fantastic actor.
Right.
He's going from the Water Boy and Billy Madison and Big Daddy to being an actor, a thespian. He's a trained professional, Scott, and he starts to show you his wings in that.
Speaking of thespian, Tyson owes us here because he goes, Garrett to the 49ers, Joey Bosa retires, to which thank you, Matthew Barr, for correcting Tyson, saying, Nick Bosa? Tyson goes to the sin bin. 2 minutes.
Although, I mean, both things could happen. Like, I'm fine with Garrett going to the Niners, and then unrelated, Joey Bosa just is like, you know what? I'm retiring. Like,
give it to Gabe, because Gabe's saying Nick Bosa to the government.
This isn't football talk yet, fellas. We're still talking basketball. 2 more basketball stories for you. We'll go quick on this
yard,
one.
though.
Warriors.
Have you seen both versions of The Longest Yard?
Yes, I've seen both versions.
Which one's better?
Can't compare the two. Apples to oranges.
Yeah, they're not even close.
It's 2 different times. They're really 2 different movies. It's kind of like the Bad News Bears. I can't control the.
They're not the same.
Bad News Bears and the current. It's 2 different movies.
That second one was all DEI.
There's
no way.
The new Bad News Bears blows. Take a stance. All right, come on.
Yeah, the new one blows because DEI.
Yeah, exactly. The fuck is this shit?
We need a hard right turn drop. We need a hard right turn. Just a car.
Wait, I got it.
To the right. Tires squealing. Nope, not that one.
That's the hard right drop.
That's
exactly what it is.
That's actually accurate.
That actually fits pretty well. The Warriors are looking to make a move before the trade deadline here, boys. They have called, yes.
That was actually pretty solid.
Oh, shit. Oh, man.
Let's see if we can just go ahead and put Mookie in timeout there. There we go. Nope, I'm in timeout. How did that happen? No, how did that happen?
You're touching shit. God.
How did I get put in timeout there? All right, that's not fair. All right, anyways.
You get a timeout camera 1, that's why.
The Warriors are looking. Oh, is that what it is, you guys?
Well, because I was the first one to sign in. I think that's how it is. Usually Scott's 1, I'm 2, and then Mike comes running in from wrestling practice is 3. Also, that's you got to pronounce it right, dude. You always come in here with that. I was at wrestling. You were wrestling.
Can I get that Mike impression one more time, please?
I'm just coming in just out from wrestling. Practice ran a little long.
I don't sound like that. That's very inappropriate to say that I sound that way, Mookie. I don't appreciate that.
Well, you call it wrestling. That's all I hear.
Yeah, that's true. I do say wrestling because I have an appreciation for the English language. Wow. Sorry, that was turned into The Simpsons.
You got a little crinkle dink, yeah.
It's being reported that the Warriors are trying to get active before the trade deadline, and rumors are that the Warriors have reached out to, wait for it, the Suns to inquire about Kevin Durant. Yes.
Why not?
I saw the headlines and I was like, you know what? Get the band back together, baby. Like, just do it. Everything that's old is new again. I want to see it. Fuck it.
Oh, that's right. Because isn't Clay in Dallas?
Clay is in Dallas. Yes.
Right. They're just their rosters make believe they could ship him out easy.
I want to see them bring KD in because the rumor is that they also have their eyes on LeBron. They want to get LeBron, KD, and Steph.
I'm here for it.
In the Bay Area.
Do it.
One more run, baby. Let's
do it, dude. I am so here for it. It'd actually get me to tune into the NBA for a minute. I'm like, yo, one last ride for the oldies, man. Like, this is it. This is the last of the dying NBA that I know. Like, I am here for one last ride. Like, this will be our last dance.
I was going to say, you know, when like you go to the playground and like people are playing pickup ball and the old guys show up with like the really high socks, which actually kids are wearing now too. So it's very confusing, but they've got like the really high socks. They're like just super old men. They've got like boots on and stuff, and they form a team and just run through the playground. That's what this Warriors team is going to be. Just LeBron,
yes,
Steph, and KD running through the league wearing Timbs. Like, that's where we're at, is just them.
I'm here for it.
As old men. Tank correct. NBA Expendables.
That is the most accurate take of all time. NBA Expendables, and I'm here for it, man. Like, let this happen. Get Chris Paul. Fucking bring the banana boat back, man. Bring Carmelo out of retirement.
Hey,
get D-Wade back.
Get D-Wade from a statue. Like,
yeah,
I agree with Sarah, though. We got to throw in Bronny.
You guys missed the story about D-Wade.
No, I didn't. He beat cancer. We're good.
What?
He beat cancer.
Yeah, I didn't know.
You missed that one move?
He's good to ball.
That one did not make it to the top of my feed.
Yeah, no, for real. He did beat cancer.
It was like kidney cancer, right? They removed like 40% of his kidney. He just quietly.
Well, it's because it was like, I was just gonna say, it was because it wasn't publicized. Like, he announced, "Oh, hey, I beat cancer," and "Oh yeah, I had cancer." Like, nobody did. Like that, because that was how I thought it goes.
Right? Like,
I said the headline that says he beat cancer, and I'm like, wait, when did he have cancer? Oh, he announced it like the same time. Like, oh, good for him. I'm glad that he kept it private. I'm glad that he beat it. He had to live long enough to see himself get a new statue. I admire that.
He deserves it now, especially.
He absolutely does. Like, I beat the NBA and cancer. Can I get a better statue than the Marcus Freeman one that you have in front of me? I'm easier in it right now.
Guys, we could get PJ Tucker and Kyle Lowry on this team too, because I just saw Matt Barr's comment. I was looking at stats. Mookie, how dare you put that on screen? And
Matt Barr is saying he pulled the Chadwick Boseman, but won Wakanda Forever.
Yikes!
Yeah, can we get Al Horford on this team? Just throw Al Horford on the team.
Oh, no. He's got no trade clause. Can't happen.
Is Al Horford still in the league?
I think so. He's put in minutes for the C's.
Jesus, man.
Right? Sarah, that's like 5 Googles. I've missed you the last couple of weeks because we've been Googling a lot.
He just had 4 points against Philadelphia on the second. 4 points, 3 rebounds.
How many minutes?
This site doesn't have the minutes, but he had 4 points on the 31st.
11 minutes.
4 points on the 25th. You can just count on out to get you 4 points. You need 4 points. Throw out Al Horford, man. He's there for you. He's got 4 in him.
But Mike, he's putting in solid time too. 25 minutes, 19 minutes, 24 minutes, 20 minutes. Like he'll eat you some minutes. He's a role player. He's that middle of the rotation guy. He's your Bronson Arroyo, if you will.
Dude, we're sitting here clowning, but like Al Horford has been in the league for a long ass time. Like thinking about when he was in I was like thinking about when he was in Florida. Like, my God, that was an eternity ago.
Oh my God, that's right. That was him.
Yes, what do you mean? That was those Florida teams. Like,
well, I know with Joe
was there.
It's like, holy shit, that was Al Horford.
Yes,
bro. That's why what LeBron is doing is so impressive. LeBron graduated high school
with us
the same year as we did, Scott, and he's still near the top of the NBA. He's not what he was, but he's still like the guy. Like, that's
No,
crazy.
that's why I don't understand why.
I hurt sometimes. This man is out here. Like,
and craft brewed old people over here again. Here we are. We've slipped into it, but that's why I don't understand the LeBron haters who are like, "Oh, LeBum and all that nonsense." Like, you may not like what he's done, you may not, appreciate every moment in his career, whatever. But I mean, what an amazing longevity he's at. Like, it's just been insane. Like,
you can say Jordan was the better player. You can say Jordan is the GOAT. I'm not going to argue with you, but you cannot tell me that if you take LeBron at his age and put him up against Jordan when he was 40, that LeBron wouldn't cook him. Like, Jordan was not this when he was LeBron. So we saw Jordan at this age, and it was
not pretty.
When Jordan was with the Wizards, it wasn't LeBron is doing. He
had no help, guys. Come on.
Unbelievable to me.
He had no help on that Wizards team.
Yeah, I blame Kwame Brown.
LeBron's got all kinds of guys at his back making plays and stuff. I mean, hell, his son is there just, putting up buckets. Jordan didn't have that. Cut the man some slack.
Gabe saying Mike and Marcus versus LeBron and Bronny. Scott, going to be tough for Mike to get Marcus in this 2-on-2 game after the news this weekend. Marcus Jordan, right? It was Marcus. That was the one that got arrested. Jordan's kid got arrested. Whoever was hooking up with Scottie Pippen's ex-wife, that's the one that got arrested. He got arrested for cocaine possession, resisting arrest, a litany of other charges. Scott, you immediately saw that headline and were cracking up laughing. You thought it was hysterical.
Because the last time we saw him, remember the video where it was just like, is he doing coke? Like, the video clearly showed him on that boat, like snorting coke, and we're all just like, you just gonna ignore that he's just snorting coke on that boat, huh? And so when I saw busted for coke possession, I was like, well, that tracks. And also thinking about the kid situation, when you do the LeBron and Jordan debate, I mean, there's just no debate about whose sons have succeeded more. Like, Bronny may just be not good at an NBA level, and there's no shame in that. There's no shame in that. But Bronny is not out here resisting arrest and doing coke. Like, he's got time to get there. He's got time to get there. Right. He does have time to get there. But I just feel like like LeBron in a slam dunk running away type deal has won the Spawn argument, at least. Like Jordan may end up being the GOAT after LeBron retires, but like at the Hall of Fame ceremony for their raising their sons, I don't know if they're gonna let Jordan in. Like,
Jordan's got the player accomplishments. LeBron has the kids and the GM accomplishments at this point. LeBron puts together a hell of a squad, guys. He can maneuver a roster. Jordan never could. Sorry, Mookie, go ahead with Tank's comment.
I was going to say, I read Tank's comment. Rich guys' kids can't rip rails and resist arrest anymore. And Randy Marsh's voice. I thought it was America. This is America. I thought rich guys' kids can't rip rails.
Although, now that I think about it, it's probably due to parenting styles, right? Like, Jordan probably kept his sons at arm's length, made them earn the love, made them, you gotta live up to being me, and that's damn near impossible. And then LeBron's like, no, you're great, nepotism all the way, son. I'm gonna make sure you play with me in the NBA someday. And so, like, the coddling and the shitty way of parenting, like came in, actually might be better in the end. Because it turns out if you parent like MJ, kid's probably going to do coke and resist arrest.
Wait a minute. Is the breaking news here, and hold on, kids, let's get ready for this drop, that Scott is breaking news that the way to raise your kids right is to actually love them as opposed to keep them at arm's length if you don't want them to do coke. Is that what we're saying?
No. But I don't think that it worked in this case. Like, having to live up to the shadow of Michael Jordan was just too much. Like, maybe that's the ultimate story in this, is that we can put the stamp on Michael Jordan's greatness in that his kids couldn't live up to being him, whereas LeBron's kids, they could at least not disappoint him all the way.
So the more of a failure your child is, the greater you were as an individual.
Yes! Bring it back.
There it is.
I feel like Mike would appreciate that sentiment too. He'd be like, "See, that's right."
Right? I dropped out of college for you, Dad. This is for you, man.
Talking about me, Mike.
Oh, right. That other Mike. Right. Sorry, all you Mikes look the same to me. That's all.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine that. Like, Dad, I'm gonna cement your legacy by being a fuck up.
Right. That's exactly what I thought the whole thing was. LeBron or Michael's kids were fuck ups because he was that awesome. So if our kids are fuck ups, that means we were great.
Dad, I'm sorry I disappointed you and only dropped out of college. I wasn't doing rails.
Right?
Like, I'm sorry. All right.
You were only
But imagine that. I feel like
father.
that was the cry for help. He was just like, "Yo, I love you so much, pops. I'll even do your old teammate that has beef with you's ex-wife. Like, I will do this. I will do this for you. Please love me. Love me."
I like that you've got him like jumping on the grenade that is Scottie Pippen's ex-wife, which is not a grenade at all. Like Marcus is like,
Well,
yeah, I'll
no.
do it if it'll really help. I promise,
If
but I'm not gonna like it.
Eddie, if that's what it takes.
I'm just saying, in the midst of, like, it happened in the midst of all the Save the Last Dance stuff. Like, it wasn't when like things were all sunny and rosy between the two of them. It was when things were contentious, and he's like, "Yo, Dad, I will fuck this shit up more for you. For you, I will be," like they would just say, Michael Jordan's son banging former teammates' ex-wife. Like, I will fall on that grenade.
Just love me, Dad.
In return, I just ask for just a hug on Sundays.
I picture him storming out of the house saying it too, like, "This is what you want? Is this what you want? I'll give it to you, Dad." Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
How do we feel about Mr. Deeds, boys? Where's
Oh,
Mr. Deeds ranked?
Shit, that's what I was trying to find. That's solid. That's a solid one. Mainly because Winona Ryder is chef's kiss in there.
I also think John Turturro kills it in that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
feet.
But also the feet, but also the Hawaiian Punch water fountain.
oh,
I'm
so
there for
good.
the Hawaiian Punch water fountain.
Guys, you realize you're saying way more fires than dumpster fires. Like this whole thing started because you said there was one dumpster fire. You have said way more fires than dumpster
You've
fires.
given us like 4, and we said 3 were fire. Like, come
All
on.
right.
75% clip. He's killing it, baby. He's in the Hall of Fame. That's batting 750. Come on, Scott. He's killing it. That's a day at the ballpark right there.
All right.
All right. You want let's go ahead. Let's lean in there a little bit. You don't mess with the Zohan.
Look at the time. We got to go baseball.
Here's the pitch. Oh, shit.
Yeah, because you know, man. Don't make me. I'll dig into this IMDb list.
Just kidding. It's football time. Don't mess with the Zohan. Had its moments. It wasn't great, but it had its moments.
Oh my god. The copium is just. It's Mike. Come on, man.
I'm married to a hairdresser. Like that one kind of hits home. That's a movie that makes us laugh. What can I say?
Okay, you know what? Well played. I see you.
All right, Myles Garrett is the big news in the NFL. The NFL saw all this Luka trade talk and they were like, "Whoa, basketball's getting headlines?" No, I don't think so. Release Myles, and Myles Garrett comes out and says, "Listen, the plan was never to go straight from Cleveland to Canton. I want to win a Super Bowl." And he has requested a trade from the Cleveland Browns. Nobody happier than Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals faithful. But Myles Garrett is on his way out now of Cleveland, likely out of the division, right? Because he said he wants to go to a Super Bowl contender. That's his goal, is to win a Super Bowl. Scott, where does Myles Garrett end up?
Oof. God, I don't know, man. Probably on a team that upsets me. Let's just put it that way. Like, there's no way that this doesn't end well for me.
Well, this would have to be a trade, right?
Yeah, it'll be. It's
requested a trade.
It's a trade, but I mean, I just feel like the teams that are going to end up being in this bidding war are all teams that are going to frustrate the hell out of me for landing him.
Well, who can afford him? I guess would be the first question, right? Because like
anybody, if they want to mortgage their future, like honestly, I'm not even trying to be smart ass. Like if they want to mortgage their future, like anybody could afford.
Like what? Like you're saying mortgage your future as in like 2 first rounds, 2 second rounds kind of deal?
Yeah, I mean, I just when I heard that he wanted this trade, my first thought was that Khalil Mack trade. And I know Khalil Mack was a little bit younger, so maybe scale it back just slightly. But I mean, like that's kind of your starting point. That Khalil Mack trade was a haul. Like the Bears paid quite a pretty penny for Khalil Mack. So yeah, I mean, it's not going to come cheap. But it's teams. But again, it's teams that are like in contention, right? So like they don't necessarily care about giving up those low picks. Like if they're like, oh, we're going to win Super Bowls because of this, then I don't give a shit about being in the 32nd slot, like I can give up some first round picks. So that's why, and that's why the Browns would also be right to ask for a whole bunch of picks from.
All right, I have a theory on what the Browns can ask for, and it doesn't have to be a ton. But I want to go to Matt Barr's comment first. He said Washington makes the most sense. That's actually the team with the highest odds outside of Cleveland. Cleveland actually has the best odds to retain Myles Garrett at plus 300, according to DraftKings. But the Commanders are the next best odds at plus 450. But Matt Barr saying pair him with that D-line and Jane Daniels, it's cash. And that would be the team that does make sense, because if you do have to give up a ton of draft capital, you have your quarterback of the future on a rookie deal. You're not as worried about giving up some of those first round picks, because
especially if you expect them to be at the back end of the draft.
Right. You're going to, it's going to be later in the first round. So you can go ahead and give up some of those picks, get a guy like Myles Garrett, get over the hump in the NFC. But somebody had mentioned this could be, and I feel like this is a recurring theme every time we talk about the Browns, this could be the golden parachute that Haslam needs. Now, right now, Browns fans are done with Jimmy Haslam. They're yelling, sell the team. They organized a protest that was actually very sad that only like 12 people showed up to. But they are done with Jimmy Haslam and the ownership of the Browns. Cleveland. But here's how he gets out of it. Okay, Myles, we'll trade you. And whoever decides to trade Myles Garrett, it's like, give us a 6th round pick for Myles Garrett and Deshaun Watson.
Attaboy.
You got to take both.
There you go.
We'll take a 6th round pick. You get out from underneath that contract. Yeah, you lose Myles Garrett, but now you've curried some favor with the fan base.
That's not bad either, because if you think about it, like what's he got left on that deal for Deshaun? 120 mil?
For like it's like 2 years, isn't it?
Which now with the cap isn't too bad.
$72 million cap hit over the next 2 years, up from like the $29 million that he was at this year. Like it's a huge cap hit coming. So it would take a lot for a team to do it. But if you're only giving up like a 6th round pick, somebody might take that. Somebody might take that bait. Do you think that's a realistic possibility, Mook?
No.
Well, here's what I was going to say originally, and I stand by this, even with this addendum in. Even if the catch is to get Myles, you got to take Deshaun, he's going to Dallas. Like, this has got Gerald. Not Gerald. Gerald. This has got Gerald Jones written all over it, because he thinks it's all play money anyways. And he looks at it, he goes, well, why pay Micah Parsons so I could get Myles Garrett on the cheap?
But you're not getting him on the cheap. It's a trade, so you have to inherit his contract. So it's not on the cheap, and also it's not on the cheap.
That's how Gerald
getting Deshaun Watson's contract too. So it's really expensive to do.
I was just gonna say it's the opposite of cheap if they package it, but that's why I don't think they will. I don't think that the Browns. I don't think Haslam is smart enough to go that route, but I also don't think that they want to go. Like they want to get the most return that they can for Myles, and they're just gonna eat.
So they don't want to take the Luka approach.
But I mean, if you could organize it where the Browns agree to pay some of Deshaun's contract.
I guess how many teams are going to be able to do that though? Like it limits the trade partners a lot. I would think.
What is it again? Did you say 72 million?
I thought I read that it was a 72 million cap hit.
Because it's so much to be paying for a guy that's on your roster.
Yeah,
I mean, unless they're gonna just take him and cut him, because I mean,
but you can't, because you still carry. That was the whole structure of the deal. That's why it was such a.
I mean, you're
stupid
still
move.
gonna have to. But if you can get the Browns to eat some of the
right? I mean, and there's a way that at least if you were
could
cutting
mitigate
him,
it, right?
and I mean, if you were cutting him and saying we're just gonna eat the dead cap hit, so that at least he's not taking up a roster spot. You know what I mean? Like, not doubling down on your losses. Like, it's gonna suck no matter what. Money wise, but I mean, if you really just don't want the guy around for the PR hit and just taking up a roster spot, because they're not going to want to start him, and there's no situation where you're just
they're not going to be able to like week 10. Didn't he re-rupture his Achilles too? On top,
I know, but I'm just saying, like, you don't want him playing. Period, though, like in any situation, backup or otherwise. So it's like you more or less like are just taking on the contract to then just cut him. I would feel like.
Go ahead, Mook.
Because then you could save face with your fans. They'd be like, yeah, we took on Deshaun Watson's contract in this thing, but we got him, and then we cut him. Like, we don't tolerate that massage foolery up in here. We're not.
What do you think this is, Baltimore? I don't think so. we don't do that here.
And honestly, Tyson said in the chat, he goes, "Why would Garrett do this publicly? Doesn't that tank some of his trade value?" I mean, probably, but I think it just shows you he's like, I don't give a fuck anymore.
Nah, he signed that deal. He's not worried about it.
It's player empowerment. It doesn't tank it at all. Like, teams still
isn't player empowerment just DEI with different words?
Yes.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Hard right turn.
I think until we get the drop, sell out. We just need to do that every time.
Can that just be the drop? Just
I
mean, why not? Because that'll give you a chance to be like, if you know, right? Like, if you don't get this show,
DEI with different letters. Wow.
That was
a great Luke.
But also, yes,
I earned a third beer, I think.
My favorite thing of the Myles Garrett, the whole thing was he is like mad at the Browns for not being good enough when he is pretty much at fault for the Browns not being good enough right now. Because if you remember back when Johnny Football was out there, or not Johnny Football, when Baker touchdown maker was out there slinging that thing and leading the Browns to their first playoff win in the last 3 decades, things kind of fell apart in the locker room. And Myles Garrett was one of those ones that was instrumental in the Browns moving on from Baker Mayfield and signing Deshaun Watson. And then when all this Deshaun, like all the stories were coming out, Myles was right there defending Deshaun Watson. He was in the locker room standing up for him. And this is my guy. And I got his back. You're the reason why the Browns aren't good right now, Myles. You can't complain about I need to get out of here because this team isn't any good when you are the one that it's like walking in, taking the flamethrower to the house and being like, I can't live here anymore. How do you expect me to live here after somebody burned this place to the ground? You did it, Myles. You did it. You made your bed, lay in it. Sorry, man. You wanted Baker gone. You wanted to bring in Deshaun. You wanted to defend Deshaun. Now you're stuck with Deshaun. Sorry, I don't feel bad for you. If I'm the Browns, I'm like, sorry, this is your fault. You're staying. My bad.
Maybe he didn't understand the money part of it, though. Of like, what do you mean we can't get better players because there's no money left for anybody? Or even more to the point, what do you mean you can't pay me anything else because Deshaun's eating up all of our cap? I mean, a man turns real quick when you mess with his money.
Thank you, Joker. Scott, you didn't seem to like that at all as I was saying it.
What? No, I just kind of laughing at the idea that Myles Garrett went to bat for all of that. But also, he's a legend at the bank. So, it's easy to become a legend at the bank and then all of a sudden be like, man, I don't like this job. I don't like this. I don't like my place of employment no more. I got this money. I got this guaranteed cash. I don't want to be here no more. Like, I admire the slickness. Like, salute to you, my friend. Get that cash and then tell them, yo, now that this shit's guaranteed, I need my next employer to pay for it because y'all ain't it. Y'all are the Browns. Like, Myles Garrett knew what it was. Like the minute the Browns called his name, he knew that he was in it for this long at least, because the Browns weren't going to get better. Like, let's just be honest. Like, Deshaun Watson wasn't going to save him. Baker wasn't going to save him. That franchise is just fucked. Cleveland is just fucked. Like, this is as good as they can get, is having a generational player for, you know, a 6-7 year window max before they decide, yeah, I got to get out of here before my career is entirely over. And that's it. Like, that's all Cleveland is going to ever be able to achieve. Nothing else.
Woof. All right. Well, good luck, Myles. Wish you nothing but the best. I'm so glad I don't have to see you 2 times a year anymore.
Hey, Mike, real quick. What fire or dumpster fire? Just go with it.
Fire. It's fire. It's fire.
Is that the Kobe biopic? Just go with it. What? Something happened?
That's better though.
I got 2 Kobe digs tonight. I'm gonna start measuring the show by how many digs we can take at a dead man.
You know, he was so sly too, like just quietly in the background, referencing a helicopter. Like,
yeah,
damn, man,
I was good.
Not only was it in the background and quiet and almost like just to himself, but it was harsh too. It was harsh and unexpected. Like, you know, you're gonna get a Kobe dig from me. Like, nobody's surprised at a Kobe dig from me, but like Mookie just sliding that note across to the teller, like, I've got a gun. Like, I just like.
Hey, all I could think of as Mike was saying it was the OpenAI photo from last week. As immediately what I saw in my mind's eye, and it just slipped out. So it happens. We talking hockey, or what are we talking now? Yep, there it is.
Oh my gosh!
Great use.
So good.
All right, I want to talk about these Super Bowl prop bets because it's really the only reason to watch the Super Bowl this year. Who cares what happens? Philadelphia wins, great. Kansas City wins, great. I don't care. I am literally just here for the Kendrick Lamar halftime show and to try to win some prop bets. Mookie, I did a little research on some prop bets, and I need your advice on what I should place these down at. So the first one, we got to start the night off right. Coin toss. Heads or tails is minus 105 on either pick. What are we going with here? And how degenerate do you have to be to bet on the coin toss of the Super Bowl?
Oh, you always bet on the coin toss. Like, that's where it all starts. Like, you always bet on the coin toss because you're going to yeah, it's like the groundhog, right? It kind of gives you an idea of where your money's going to be going at this year, and if you're feeling it in one book or another, like the coin toss is where it all starts. So tails never fails, whether it's college football 25, Super Bowl prop bets, whatever, always ride with tails.
You are 100% right, Mook. I did some research on it. Tails has hit 5 out of the last 6 Super Bowls. So boom. If you are betting the coin toss, you better go tails. Also, if you want another little tip here, Mook, the team that wins the coin toss traditionally loses the Super Bowl. So if you're looking to get a last-minute bet in, the winner of the last 9 Super Bowls was the team that lost the coin toss. So there you go. Quick money.
Which I think is a good point, because one of the worst games to bet on in terms of just traditional type bets is the Super Bowl. There is so much volume and an action on it. There is really no value to be had when you're talking traditional spreads over unders. Now, where there's action to be had or moves to exploit, it's when you get into that live gambling now that that's there. So the minute the ball kicks, you just look to hedge. You just chase value. And if you know exactly how to move on that, the minute that tail shows up, go ahead, man. Mortgage the house.
Here's 3 of my favorite props that I found when I was trying to find what I should bet on for the Super Bowl. So I'll do these in reverse order. Number 3, will Travis propose at the end of the game to Taylor? Yes is at plus 500 odds. No is at minus 950. Very low return on Travis not
I don't like
proposing
that.
to Taylor at the end of the game. Number 2, will a player or coach cry during the national anthem? Yes is minus 450 odds. No is plus 285. Mash that. That is absolutely yes. Nick Sirianni, they're going to show him. He's going to be bawling like a baby. If you remember the last time the Eagles were in the Super Bowl, Nick Sirianni will absolutely cry. That one will cash. Parlay with that with something else. Scott, this one's just for you. Will there be a power outage? Yes is plus 1,600. No is minus 15,000. The last time.
Low fucking blow, bro. Low, bro. Yeah,
Low
low blow, bro.
That was a low blow, bro. That was a low blow, bro.
Stop blowing me, bro. Wait, what?
Oof.
Bro, that blow was low.
Don't go there. It's too soon. If you're asking, too soon.
It was the last time they played a Super Bowl,
and like the only time. It was the wait. Really, they haven't played one in New Orleans since 2012.
No, they have not played. They have not
Wow.
been back in New Orleans since that. The Super Bowl, when lights went out and everything swung in the wrong Harbaugh's favor.
And Greg Roman still couldn't call a goddamn run inside the fucking run. Okay, I'm not gonna go there. All right.
Sarah also rightfully pointing out there's the Cousins curse. Have you guys heard about that curse?
I have not heard about this one. What is the Kirk
Basically,
Cousins curse?
if a team beats Kirk Cousins in the regular season, they do not win anything in the playoffs. They lose in the playoffs. And the Eagles beat Kirk Cousins this year, so put the house on Kansas City. So here's how you parlay it then, because we're going to keep with the trends. Kansas City winning, but we're going to parlay that with the Eagles winning the coin toss, because the team that wins the coin toss loses the game. So we're going to bet now that the Eagles win the coin toss, Kansas City wins the game. There you go. Mookie, is there anything else enticing to you while you're gambling on the Super Bowl?
Yes. Besides everything, you can get, there will be a flea flicker going off right now at plus 250. That feels like easy money, man. Nick Sirianni, like they're gonna pull some shit out. I bet you that one cashes first half, even if you can get there. And then honestly, this isn't really a prop, but I love me some squares, man. Super Bowl squares are like the most fun thing ever, but we only ever get to do them on the Super Bowl. So, hey,
that's why they're called Super Bowl squares.
Public service and fuck you, Scott. Public service announcement out there. Go find your local person, run in a squares game, throw you a 5 or a 10.
Christmas cookies are the best type of cookies, but we only get to have them at Christmas.
Who does the conference championship ones? I would play that. Where did you find that?
There's all kinds of people that do that, dude. Any D-gen can just run a block pool anytime. It doesn't have to.
Where is this happening though? Where do you sign that?
We'll do it next year. Just pick games throughout the year, and we'll run our own block pool. You could do that. Like, people want to gamble. Let's make some money on this. It doesn't have to just be a Super Bowl.
Nice.
Make it a Monday night football block pool.
There it
you
is.
Go.
March Madness. We're gonna run some squares for Merch Madness.
Were you struggling to read March there? You were like,
It was merch. Madness. Mookie had a sale going on in his head. We were unloading some gear.
He's stroking out during this.
Guys, we got to go back to basketball real quick. Hang on.
Boom shakalaka!
Adam is saying it looks like a Khris Middleton Kyle Kuzma trade is coming. Poor Middleton. Woof. That is brutal right there. Khris Middleton and Kyle Kuzma. Scott, initial reactions to that one.
Initial reactions. Does Khris Middleton still
Khris Middleton?
Does Middleton still play for Milwaukee, and does Kyle Kuzma still play for the Lakers? That was my initial reaction.
Khris Middleton does still play for Milwaukee, but Kyle Kuzma is no longer with the Lakers. He's now with the Wizards.
Yes.
He's in Washington.
Oh,
So,
God.
right.
So that's awfully bad for Middleton.
Middleton going from playing with Giannis
no.
to Washington.
Oh, poor Middleton. Yikes.
Which, by the way, since we were talking gambling, Washington, I forgot to brag about this, but they are the newest pick to fade the team. You fade the Wizards, but you also got to be careful because there's some games where if you pick a money line, they're like minus 1,000. So it's almost not worth it. And yes, I was going to put that up because Matt typed out in the alternating caps lock that I earned my third beer. My favorite part about that is he probably started typing that at like 9:10. And finally finished, but it was still applicable.
I always love that. It's a great burn to do the like, you know, the doofy text with the alternating cap. Yeah, but it also takes so long. Like, I'll be halfway through it and I'll be like, this joke isn't worth it, man.
Really bad when it's a really long thing that you're typing through. Like if it's I earned a third beer, it's not as bad. But when it's like a full sentence,
I don't know, man. That's still a lot of letters.
I was gonna say that's pushing it right there. I earned a third beer. It's like right on the threshold of like, this was annoying.
Also,
like,
Gabe pointing out over on Taylor Swift appearances.
Oh, hammer that over.
Get it at 4.5. I wouldn't go any higher than 4.5 and bet that over.
Sarah saying I was incorrect about Cousins. Sorry, Sarah. Go ahead and correct me in the chat.
That loses to Kirk Cousins.
What did I say? I thought that's what I said.
Beats Kirk.
Oh, my bad. Scratch that. Reverse it. All right, there we go. Let's get back to football.
I want that sly ability to just mess with something like, oh, really? Oh, okay, cool. Well, transition.
A superpower, baby. This producer chair. You can just click buttons whenever you want.
I'm not even mad.
I messed up. Yep.
How do we do that in real life? I need like that. I think is where we got to take this.
Just moonwalking out of the door after you piss off your wife. She's like, "How dare you? Oh, my bad." Boop, 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 just Bo Jackson scores a touchdown.
Who could be mad when Bo Jackson scores a touchdown? Right? Like, what could be wrong with the world when that's what's happening?
Guys, I think I have proof that Patrick Mahomes is the devil because if the Eagles lose the Super Bowl, their franchise record goes to 666 and 666 and 27 ties. So if Patrick Mahomes defeats the Eagles, there's 666 and 666. He's the devil. This is if you've seen that Jim Carrey movie where he just writes the number 23 over and over again, that's what this is. This is numerology coming together to say Patrick Mahomes is the devil. Fine. I guarantee you there's some crazy person on TikTok who has a video that this is proof that the Illuminati exists and Monster Energy is sucking the souls of your children and Patrick Mahomes is the devil because the Eagles are going to be 666 and 666 after Sunday. Go ahead, Mook. Sorry.
Staying on that topic, Scott, 8 Crazy Nights, fire or dumpster fire?
That movie's fire.
Dumpster fire.
What?
No, that is incorrect, sir. That is incorrect. How the fuck do you come off with dumpster fire?
8 Crazy Nights is so good.
It is a Christmas classic.
Look, and that's where when people say Adam Sandler doesn't have range, bro, he got a Hanukkah movie off the ground. That dude has range. There is he has the Hanukkah movie. You want to talk like, we got a lot of
has the Hanukkah song.
I was going to say, not to mention the.
How about Hotel Transylvania? How about Hotel Transylvania? Where are you at with that one?
If I was a kid, fire.
But you're not, so dumpster fire.
Yeah, so
blah blah blah. That's so good. It's so good. It's such a good movie. Come on, man. You're a coward.
I'm a coward. I am afraid to call Transylvania a good movie. You're right. I'm terrified.
I said what I said, Sarah. I know it's a Hanukkah classic, but I say that it's whatever supersedes that. It is a winter classic. That movie is.
It's a Christmas classic because that's what we say in America. It's Merry Christmas, not Happy Chanukah.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Sarah. Get out of here with this DEI shit. God damn it. What the hell? Boo. Where's the button? I got to move.
Sell out.
Please don't move any more buttons. Why'd you go back to that?
I didn't touch that. That was Scott.
There we go.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh,
say that was me. There it is.
Not even full screen. Now it's full screen.
See, this is what I love about this. Regardless of who the hell else out there is actually watching or enjoys this, I like walking out of here and in the room. My wife goes, "How was the show tonight?" And I go, "Well, we talked whether a bunch of Adam Sandler movies were fire or dumpster fire, put a lot of crying Kobe and a helicopter memes up on the screen, and then, I don't know, never got past the first sports subject we try to talk about." It's a great show. It was a great show.
Except we have talked a lot of sports tonight, Mook.
We have played a lot of
very
drops.
sports-heavy show
Yeah.
tonight.
There's like more topics than usual that we got to.
We are nearly through the whole list. Like
And
we're
no
gonna get
sexual
to these-
degeneracy either to boot.
we're going to get to these baseball stories in overtime here in 20 seconds. So we have like literally gone through the entire list of topics. We've hit the whole rundown, Mook.
All right, Mike. Fire, dumpster fire, punch drunk love.
Fire.
Dumpster fire.
Of course you would say that, you son of a bitch. You
Miller for three. Oh, he backed it in. We're going to overtime.
Oh, I'm afraid of a romantic comedy. It's a dumpster
I am
fire.
not. I like 50 First Dates. That's a romantic comedy, you son of a bitch.
Fuck 50 first dates. I stand on that one.
55th date.
Yeah, whatever. I earned the third beer. You saw the caps locks.
Oh, shit.
55th dates. That's going in the intro.
God.
You want to talk about a line for the intro? 55th dates is going in the intro. Let's talk baseball.
Here's the pitch. Oh, shit.
Scott, we had a wild incident over the weekend where MLB's arguably their best umpire, a guy who has had a perfect game, not umpired a perfect game, but like called every ball and every strike in a game correctly, an umpire perfect game, was fired this weekend by MLB because he was connected to a gambling account that he shared with his friend, and his friend bet on baseball. There's no proof that he bet on baseball, but also when they investigated him, he had text messages that were deleted. But that's not as suspicious. He didn't bet on baseball. It's okay. Look the other way. Don't pay attention to that man behind the curtain. He's fired now. Scott, how did you feel as Hoberg got fired for this reason, this Pete Rose of a reason?
This was very, if the glove don't fit, you must acquit. Only the glove did fit. Like, you deleted text messages, dude. I'm sorry. Like, sharing your account with somebody who bets on baseball is ridiculous on its
Who
face.
shares gambling accounts?
That's the question.
Yeah, like nobody does that. Like, it's ridiculous excuse on its face and like negligent at its worst. Like, I'm sorry. I don't buy that you shared your account, and I definitely don't buy that you didn't bet on baseball. You deleted as soon as you started deleting text messages. It was over for me.
My favorite part is it probably happened, and I didn't see like the timing of when the messages were deleted, but I envision when all the Shohei stuff broke is when he went back and
Oh shit!
fuck shit, delete, oh, shit, and just started deleting all of it because he knew he was God at that point.
Gabe pointing out we may have found some holes in this story because Gabe said he tried to share a gambling app once, and the app said he traveled too fast.
Yeah,
That's
that makes
true.
sense though.
If you're
Yeah.
in different states, like it asks you which state you're in. So if one person logs in and says they're in Ohio, and then somebody else logs in and says they're in Florida, the app is going to be like, whoa, hold up. How did you do that?
Yeah, but also let's be real here. Like, yes, it says you traveled too fast, so then you kill the app, you wait 5 minutes, and you go back in, and they'll gladly take your money.
Maybe. But Sarah with the she's going with the big timers defense here. It's the mobster putting all your assets in your mother's name so you can't be jailed for tax evasion or something.
I mean, that's fair.
What this is like, no. We shared an account, but it was me betting. But like, this is my plausible deniability of
Right.
you can't pin it on me because I put him on the account too. So I I can't be held responsible for those bets because he had access to it too. So he probably placed the baseball bets.
So
I
he
did
got
on other things.
He got fired, but he didn't get charged with fraud.
eBay taking notes.
I mean,
somewhere. He's
hey,
like, what the hell? Like, that's all I
Right.
had to do. Like, shit.
I thought all I had to do was speak in a poor accent to
I know.
American
I thought I had to pretend to be another guy. All I had to do was say I logged in. Like, damn it, I did too much.
Although he did have to pretend to be another guy to get the money out of the account.
did.
So there's a slight difference here. All right, so we're all calling bullshit on this story, right? Like Hoberg did it. He bet on baseball. That's why he's fired, right? Right?
Yep. No doubt.
Mookie.
I mean,
Yeah,
I just hope
yeah,
you
right.
won enough.
Bring the robot overlords in. Robot umps now.
About damn
Thank
time. And we got this AI stuff running around out here. Why not put it on baseball?
Well, and I made the point last night on the show that the AI and the robo umps can't be compromised, but then it's also pointed out that those Chinese, from the China, the hackers, they could get in and compromise our could compromise our. But there won't be any DEI robo umpires. So there's
No.
they'll be the
Although
most qualified robo umps, and it won't be based on race.
I
do kind of like the thought of a.
I picture him using like a Siri voice, but it's got an accent, and the Trump's like, "What the fuck is this? No, I don't think so. This is a DEI robot. We got to get rid of this." Like, you can change your Siri voice to like the Irish accent.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this? No, I don't think so. No, this is
America first with these robo umps.
You know what though? Hold on a minute.
They're not putting tariffs on the MLB. No, I'm sorry. The World Series being tariffed. We're gonna tariff the shit out of you. Change the voice on your robot umpire.
Oh my god.
Let's talk about that though, because we got Google with voices like Australia, England, whatever, but we can't get no Deep South. We can't get any Boston accented Siri or any of the other stuff.
Wants that.
Why not? How fun would that be?
Those are accents that Americans actively avoid. Like, why would you want to set your equipment to sound
Back down the street, yeah, hat on.
Yeah,
I just like the idea of Mike talking to his like home assistant in his kitchen as he's doing dishes, where he's like, "I am not a cop," and then it says it right back to him, and he's just sitting there, and his wife's like, "Mike, shut the fuck up."
You just got me arguing with the
just got you arguing with the
I'm
Alexa.
not a co-op. I am not a co-op. I'm not a co-op. I'm not a co-op.
Yeah, why not, man?
Like, yeah, I'm gonna set my Siri to the southern accent, and it'll just be sitting there calling me boy while I'm trying to do the dishes. Like, whoa, hold on, Siri. Like, settle down over there. Don't tell me what to do, boy. Well, we really got to turn off these Southern American accents for this Siri. It's getting out of hand.
Race card.
I just picture Scott sitting there doing dishes. Cheryl walks in. Siri says something like, "Yes, ma'am," and then looks over and Scott calls him boy. He's like, "The fuck?"
Like, I just imagine it unprompted. Like, I just walk in the room.
Who did this update?
Siri just, excuse me, boy.
Pick up your phone. It's like, we don't take kindly to your kind around here. It's like, check Twitter.
Sarah's saying, "I'm assuming this is the Google talking to Sarah in this circumstance. Quote, I think your husband needs a sandwich with some sweet tea," end quote.
But also, don't bring them to him. You should just stay in the kitchen. That's
the Harrison Butker filter too. Weird. They overlap.
Is this our next product? Do we need to put this AI model out there that allows you to talk to like the Harrison Butker version of Google? Like,
it's hard right turn robot assistant,
right? Like, hey,
market to the MAGA robot assistant.
If you're feeling too confident in yourself, take a hard right turn.
This is getting away from me, guys. I gotta regain control. It's getting away.
You know
from
what the
me.
problem is, Mike? You stopped drinking that THC stuff. That's it. You went back to the devil sauce, man. Nothing good ever came from that.
How do we feel about funny people? Where's funny people rate for you guys?
You know what? I had that one queued up too. I was gonna hit you with Murder Mystery.
Oh,
I didn't like that movie. I tried.
Murder Mystery or Funny People?
Murder Mystery. I didn't see Funny People, so I'm gonna have to abstain on that one. But Murder Mystery for me was the dumpster fire. Like
Jennifer Aniston can still get it, man.
Well, yes. I like how
this episode.
Yeah, I also like that. Like a lot of these movies, it's just like, oh, the other thing, not Adam Sandler, amazing in this movie.
Vicky Valancourt, thumbs up. Jennifer Aniston, thumbs up. What's her name from Modern Family? Thumbs up.
The Hawaiian Punch, drinking fountain, thumbs up. It's like everything but Adam Sandler, amazing in these movies. Like this is really good.
Picking up on that trend too. He's the LeBron of creating movies. He gets a great cast around him to make it a good thing.
Oh,
X.
He's not going to carry you on his own. He's got to play GM and get all his buddies to come with him, and then all of a sudden, championship level. All right, a couple quick stories here, and then we'll get out of here. Scott, I'm impressed. There's two petty stories that I want to go to here, and I want you to determine who is the king petty in these scenarios.
Okay.
Do not let your bias inform your decision here, okay? Because I'll preface saying
it will, but go ahead.
One of them is the Dodgers, but we're looking strictly on the petty scale here. So first up, the Dodgers. They have announced their giveaways for the upcoming season. And in a series where the Padres are coming to town in June for a 3-game series, these are the giveaways that they're doing in order while the Padres are in town. First up, a Blake Snell bobblehead. The next one is a replica World Series trophy. And then the final day of the series is gold replica jerseys for the Dodgers. All of those on a trip that the Padres are making to LA.
Okay.
Extremely petty. That is
that's clearly petty. Done on purpose all the way.
Next petty story is the San Francisco Chronicle has come out and said, I guess when the A's moved to Sacramento, they released a branding transition kit. And they said to all of the newspaper outlets, media outlets that are covering us, this is how you cover us now that we are no longer in Oakland. We are not called the Sacramento A's. We are the Athletics or the A's. And when you put us in a box score or you reference us on the Chiron on the game, it's ATH is our abbreviation. That's what we're going with. And the San Francisco Chronicle said, no, we're going to call you the Sacramento A's. Like, we're going to say the Sacramento A's or the Athletics. And furthermore, in our standings in the newspaper that we print, you're going to be labeled as SAC. We are calling you that. That's how it's going to be. We don't care what your branding guidelines say. Tough shit. Scott, which is more petty in this case?
It has to be the newspaper, because the idea that a newspaper in 2025 is being petty is the ultimate petty. Like, we're gonna put your shit in here as what you didn't want it to be on this antiquated way of getting news. I love it. Like that is ultimate petty right there. Like I actually enjoy the Dodgers thing. Like because when you said don't let my bias, I'm like, oh God, what did the Yankees do that I might have to agree with? But no, I can still like get on board with things that everybody up to the Yankees and Mets do. Like if they did that, I'd be like, nah, I'd discredit it. But Dodgers doing it fun, not as fun as a newspaper saying, nah, we're gonna old man the shit out of this, and you're gonna be Sacramento on our rankings. That's amazing. I love
Mookie. Does the newspaper or the Dodgers take the King Petty crown this week?
Oh yeah, and they earn that. Like they can wear that one.
And you just
I'm glad that was noticed.
Which one?
Oh yeah.
Does the paper or the Dodgers get the crown? Oh yeah, they earned it.
No, sorry.
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't even hear the Dodgers. I heard newspaper and I'm like, yes, the newspaper. Like that's it. End of sentence, man. Fuck Dodgers. Good entry. Any other week, I think you would have won because you even had Scott thinking about it for a minute, despite being the Dodgers. But the newspaper just sticking it to the ATHs. Oh,
the ATH.
Chef's
The
kiss. That's beautiful.
ATHs.
Yeah, like that.
The ass.
It's so good. I don't need to go for. It's amazing.
Final story, and then we'll get out of here. The show 25 has been announced. That's coming out, and they announced some new features in the show 25. Guys, we get college baseball inside the show 25. So this time around, you can start your career as a high school player, continue at select colleges. Not all colleges, but you'll be able to play at select colleges, and then move on to the show. Metal bats. They're going to have metal bats in the show, guys. Yes, Mookie, that is the correct response.
So,
if you continue your career into college, you get to play the video game with a metal bat. That's as close to sex as we have in video games.
Done. Sold.
Scott, on board.
When do I get to fight people? Like, why can't I charge the mound?
You guys do realize that they made a college baseball game like 08, 07 EA?
Yeah, but it's been forever because
I'm
an asshole. But like,
sure,
Scott, this is the entryway. Now we might get a college baseball game.
I hope it is because college baseball is amazing. And college baseball, even though I'm not an avid follower and don't have a team or anything, like I bought the game and played the shit out of it. There's nothing better than that ping sound. Like. This might be the first ever road to the show where you're trying not to get to the show. Like I'm gonna be
junior year.
I'm gonna go. It's like we're gonna go from Adam Sandler to Ryan Reynolds because I'm a Van Wilder the shit out of this and just stay at college.
Wow.
Like, I'm just staying at college, baby.
That's brilliant. That's genius.
Well
There's nowhere to go from there. But
let's talk about these beers that we were drinking tonight. As always, we rate them on our Dog Caesar scale, dog or no dog. Scott, what were you drinking, dog or no dog?
I kept going up the scale at Urban Artifact. I hit the 8.1 with their monocle, which is their mango. God, it's amazing. It's a dog.
Mookie, what were you drinking, dog or no dog?
Or Shata from the brewery. It's a dog.
Ping. I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. What do you guys got on that one?
Dumpster fire.
Oh, that Mookie. That's borderline of hate crime. Scott,
I'm gonna do what we done all night. Jessica Biel in that movie, goddamn. I don't know about Adam Sandler in that movie, but Jessica Biel, goddamn, that was the movie that if you didn't know, you were like, "Yo, Justin Timberlake, my guy." All right, I see you, man.
I'm drinking Arnold Palmer Spiked, half and half. It was a good beer. No, for sure.
Oof.
Oh my god! Go back and watch that though.
Mike, you still catching strays here in the chat. Gabe going, "You ain't got a team, Scott." I thought that was just Mike.
Wow.
And then Sarah throwing out, anchor down, go Vandy. Very quality college baseball squad.
They are. Vandy's like the top of the food chain, and
they're D squad.
Well, hold on now. They're no Xavier Musketeers, but yeah, they're all right.
Yeah, no doubt,
fellas. This is a show.
Yeah,
it was some.
He said at 9.
We hit some topics. We skidded right very hard several times. This is a show. Like for anybody that has tuned in for the first time tonight, welcome. This is what you get. We appreciate you.
We threw this back a bit.
Everybody in the comment section, be sure to sub to that YouTube channel. It is growing. Like we're getting some numbers there, fellas and ladies. So go sub. Tell your friends to sub. Tell them to hit that bell so they know when new content's posted. We're doing stuff on there every single day now almost. So go hit up that YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Be sure to follow us at Craft Beef Sports, Twitter, Instagram, at Craft Brewed Sports on TikTok. You can join the Facebook group. It is the comment section come to life, the show between the show. Go hit that up. It's the only reason I have Facebook now, unless you want to have a profile picture with Oakley's on sitting in your truck. This is really the only reason I have Facebook. Shout out Belly Up Sports, bellyupsports.com. Tons of great content there. Go hit them up. Shout out to all of the podcasts on the Belly Up Sports Media Network. Go sub, rate, and review all those. We will see you all next week. Cheers, everybody.
But like Billy Madison's at the top, right? Like we all have that at the top.
For sure. Yes.
Okay, cool. Just
Billy
make
Madison, Happy Gilmore, 1A, 1B.
Thank you.
You'll never walk alone. Horns up.
I don't know much about your show or what's going on,